this case, Steven, can you go a little long, please? So I serve no spin, and I finish. Okay, and I finish. And that's a really good shot, guys, honestly. If you're playing against an opponent, and you're trying to finish the shot quick, serve with no spin, disguise it really well, and finish the shot. There's no need for me to go down too much, put a lot of a spin. If you notice, I'm not going up, trying to go with a lot of a spin. I'm going down and then forward to finish the shot, okay? You can vary the location of the shot too as well. On the corners, corner over there, in the middle. It is very difficult for an opponent to actually block a shot like that. A spin is very overrated. We don't use it anymore. Do you see a lot of Chinese players actually playing with a lot of a spin? Not really. They're all fast. It's about being fast. European players are a little different. I mean, if you look at Timo Boll, he's always on the back spinning and spinning and spinning. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I'm just saying he might win one match at a time against Ma Long, 1 out of 10, right? Because Ma Long is unbelievably powerful, okay? Now let's go back to the topic. Anybody has any questions by anything? No? We're good? Are we gonna do less spin, more power? You have a question? Okay.
So you want to use power when the ball is very low.
Oh.
Okay, so let's say net height low.
Perfect. Okay, so that is the reason I said at the beginning that I am not gonna serve with spin. This serve right here has barely any spin. So if the person, so just try to push that ball, okay? Push it with spin. Let's say I disguised it really well for you, okay? And you didn't even know. Okay? The ball comes high, okay? And that's my chance to actually take the attack. When the situation that Steven is put in, that the ball is actually coming a little lower, that's when the spin comes in. And what does that mean? I'm going to use my spin as a defensive tactic to start the game. So in this situation, let's say Steven really pushed the ball really wide, and it was a really good quality chop that Steven did. Then the spin comes in handy, right? Because now I can put the ball on the table and then play the point afterwards. Okay? Got it? Yeah. Perfect. So now let's go back to the topic. From defense to attack. It really depends on how good your footwork and how good your stamina is. Okay? You don't want to be all the time, you don't want to be the whole time on the back of the table and just fishing the ball. Because the opponent is going to move you around. Remember, guys, the closer you're, the more far away from the table you are, the bigger the table becomes, right? I have to do bigger movements to reach to the ball. So for somebody like me, for example, that is not really well physically trained anymore, I used to be, not anymore, okay? I much rather maybe one ball, second ball, the third one I'm already going on the table. I don't want to be all the way back here. And this is the problem that I'm trying to solve with Steven, that if you notice when he plays, every point he's back, and back, which makes it really complicated for him. And I'm sorry I'm using this as an example, but it...
I'm very fast. And he puts a lot of spin.
That's the good thing, okay? His defensive abilities are not the worst, they're okay, okay? So he's good, he can move. But, I mean, if anybody's seen Stefan play, Stefan is really good at being here outside of the table and give you the ball with a lot of the spin, okay? He can do it because he's been practicing, he's playing, he's a good player, all that. But somebody like Steven, for example, that doesn't really know how to put his spins from far away from the table and things like this, the thing that I suggested him to do is to 1 ball, 2 balls, 3 balls, and I want to see you already here in front of the table. Okay? And this comes for everybody, guys. I mean, it is very difficult to actually train to be here all the time and move. First, you have to have unbelievable footwork, which is really hard to do. Second, your opponent has the control. You don't want to give the opponent the control. You want to have the control. I'm saying you are able also to control the point right here, but you really have to be really good at your spins, and you really have to have a good touch. Okay? So how do we get from this defensive side to the offensive side? I mean, I'm not going to give the ball to the same spot, right? So the first thing is going to be placement. Okay? We don't want our opponent to get used to just being here, right here in the middle, and he's smashing the ball. We want to move our opponent, right? So, Steven, I want you to smash the ball.
Me to smash the ball?
Yeah, not too hard. Okay, we'll start. You can move me around a little bit, it's okay.
That's okay?
Okay? But not too hard, okay? And you see, if you notice on those 3 balls, okay, he smashed the ball there, I put the ball right here, and then right after the 3rd shot, I switch it over here. This forces the attacker, if he wants to put power, to do a shot like this, hard. Then I switch it to the other side, right? He gets uncomfortable, my time to attack. So we'll do it one more time. So notice at the beginning, I'm trying to get comfortable. I took the attack. Okay? You want to move your opponent with placement. And I don't know if you remember when we talk about serve, there is such a thing that's called danger zone right here. So from here to here, this is the danger zone, meaning the opponent is really comfortable to attack. So what I want to do is I want to put the ball anywhere on this direction, so it's not comfortable for my opponent to attack.
Danger zone is where the ball hits the table? Or?
It's like from here to here. Okay, I talked about it last time. I don't have the ribbons today to show, but from here to here is very easy from the opponent to take the attack. We are aiming on this side of the table. Okay, so we'll do it again, one more time. But now, rather than using placement, I'm going to use my spin to make it uncomfortable. And you can go a little harder, Steven. Sorry. Good, Steven. You notice now I'm using a little bit of a spin to kind of like get that advantage and confuse him a little bit. And I'm still using the spin to try to actually get back to that attack. See what I mean? On that one, it was a side spin serve. Side spin shot, sorry. Bounces, goes away from him. More difficult for him to actually keep attacking. My objective is for him to be uncomfortable attacking. If I just give him a shot like that, that's easy for him to attack. But if I give him a shot like that, that's a little more difficult. Okay? Any questions about this? No? We're good?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You want to move the opponent around, right? So you hit both sides. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Moving around.
Ideally, yes, but I'm trying to divide it into two subcategories, let's say. One is placement, and the other one is a spin. Okay? If you're able to put a spin with placement, guarantee you're going to be winning that point most of the time, which is difficult to do, right? and now was my turn to attack. You see what I mean? So if you're able to put the placement with the spin, side spin here, all the way over there, I'm pushing my opponent to the other side. I got all that table to actually be able to win that point. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? No problem. Placement, spin. Now one more. Power, surprise shot. Okay, that's another way to actually get the attack. So the opponent is attacking to me, smashing the ball, and I'm here. So most of the time people are saying, okay, he's going to be defensive, just giving me the ball high, right? So Steven is going to attack to me, and I'm just giving the ball high. And I try to do a surprise shot to surprise him because he's in attack mode right now. So take away that rhythm that is very important to have to play this sport, right? Now I'm trying to take the attack for a surprise. He just became, oh my God, he just attacked. I have to go back on defense. Now I'm attacking, okay? So I just came back from defense to offense. So now we have three things that we can do to actually take over the attack. One is placement, the other one is a spin, the other one is power, okay? Try to, if you guys are gonna practice this, it's very difficult to do. So the first thing, placement. Let's start just by giving high balls like this, you know, make sure we move the opponent around, you know, making them comfortable, right? We move him around, and I'm back on the attack, right? If you do exercises like this to start, it gets you to improve. And it's very important that you have a good touch on the ball. So you're not missing the ball after every 2 or 3. You got to make sure that you're consistently putting the ball. Then you can make your opponent go even harder. You do it harder, still farther away from the table, whatever you want. And then after a couple of shots, you get back into it. The spin is a little bit more difficult. If you're going to spin the ball, as I said, danger zone and under, right here. Don't put the ball over here. If he bounces, it's going to bounce high. Opponent is already inside of the table. My objective is to push him out of the table if I'm using spin. Okay? Power, surprising shot. That's a little bit more difficult because I want you to attack as hard as you can. Come on. Come on, Steven. I'm not even putting any spin on the ball. So basically, you guys get the idea, right? The more you practice to get those shots, the better are you going to get. But as I said before, placement, spin, power comes after. Okay? Any questions? I want to actually volunteer to try to do the same thing I just did. And I want one of the kids. Anybody? Eric? You want to try? So Steven is going to attack to you. Don't smash so hard. First thing, we're going to start with the placement. I just want you to move him around and try to get back to the attack just by moving the player. Okay? No spin, no nothing. Okay? Let's go. So you're going to be backing up a little bit. You smash the ball, not too hard, okay? Just control it. Control it. You'll get it. Okay? But you see the second ball that you just did over there, you moved them to the other side. He's actually, you didn't even notice, he actually stepped this way to take the attack. And you had all that to actually take over, right? I want you to no more than 3 shots, and then you're taking the attack, okay? Move him. But set up your point, right? You're always going towards the middle. You're making it easy on him. I want the ball here, there, and then you take the attack. Okay? Let's go. Slowly, slowly. So as you guys notice, this is really hard to do. You really have to have a really good touch. Move him around, move him around. One more time. Now your turn. Yeah. And then he takes the attack. Okay? So there is something that he can actually practice over there that can make him better. Daniel, can you come here and show us a little bit? So these are things that most of the students most of the kids that you're training, you don't show them to do those things. Because some of the coaches actually think that it'll come. But it's actually a topic that you actually can train. So Daniel, again, he's going to start smashing at you, very soft, and I want you to just put it with placement. Just with placement. Okay, he's adding the spin. That's good. When are you going to take the attack, Daniel? Yes, that's your chance. You see, on that point, he did it really well. He took a Steven out of the table, but he didn't realize that he couldn't take the attack on that one. You could have realized that. As soon as you see him uncomfortable, that's your chance to actually go and take the attack. Okay? Let's try it one more time. And you notice Daniel is using a spin and placement, so he's already a little bit ahead. Let's go, Daniel. Let's go. That was his chance. Perfect. You notice? Very good. He moved the player to the other side with a little bit of a spin. He saw his opportunity, went for the attack to the forehand. He wins the point. Okay? You little lady.
So high.
Mariana. Okay? Now, so Eric here showed me the placement. Daniel here showed me the spin. Mariana is going to show me the power. Okay? The surprise power. So given when you find your time, take the attack from far away from the table. Let's go. That's okay. Notice one thing, guys, Mariana, is good. It's okay. When you are far away from the table, your legs are the important thing. You cannot be standing up like this, right? We have to be down. So then we can take the attack. We're ready for it. Okay? Come on, Mariana. Ah! It's getting close. One more. So if you notice, Mariana is not really comfortable being on the back of the table because her game is to be close to the table. That's fine. It's okay. But what happens when you're back of the table? You're going to be losing that point all the time. And trust me, it happens. Your opponents attack. So you have to be sometimes back of the table. So this is something that you probably should practice a little bit more. Okay? Let's try one more time. There we go. Excellent. Good job, Mariana. So do we have any questions about this? Any concerns, anything that you guys want to share with us? Yes, sir.
You got to be able to lob the ball, right?
Yes, lobbing. Lobbing, guys. Okay.
He knows all about that.
Lobbing is very difficult to do, guys. We need legs, we need spin, we need touch, okay? So this is taking it to, after those three things we talk about, placement, spin, and power, lobbing comes next. Lobbing being in the really, really far away from the table, and you have to make sure, guys, it's very important that the ball is going as far away from the table as possible. When the spin of the lob comes, because it's kind of like a toss spin, it's going to bounce and go up. It's going over your opponent's head. So if you do this, it's not going to work. You always have to be in front of the table. Okay? So that means that your opponent has to back up. That's what usually lobbers do. Really good example from lobbers. Who do we have? Timo is really good at it too. He goes really back of the table and just fish to the ball and then takes the attack. Shushing is a master of it, but Shushing is just out of this world. I don't think he's human when he does those shots. But he takes the attack. So you see Shushing loving the ball, but he's actually looking for that attack afterwards. You don't see him do that like more than 5 balls. He's taking over right after that with a surprise shot that we'll see as well. So I'll try to do a little bit of lobbing. Guys, I used to be really good at it. I need a little bit more practice. Obviously, I have to practice a little bit that. But I'll try it and make it difficult on you, okay?
So I attack?
Yeah, you smash the ball.
How about this practice?
Oh, you're gonna be like that, okay. Okay. Okay, so my loving a little bit is more towards the side spin to push the opponent away from it, away from the table, so then I can take my attack. Ideally, if you put the ball right here and you make your opponent back up, that's your chance to actually take the attack and make your opponent uncomfortable, okay? As I say, lobbing, guys, is very difficult to do. You need to have your legs. Don't spend more than 2 or 3 shots away from the table. Go back in right away, okay? Any questions about this? This is pretty much what I just talked about is the basic of coming from defense to offense, okay? So now I'm gonna be on Stevenson's shoes, and I'm gonna try to win against a lobber, okay? So, as I said, what happens when there is a placement issue? So this person right here is a really good defender, and he's moving you around and make you uncomfortable. How do I win against that? Anybody? Anybody cares to venture an answer? Did everyone understand the question? Yes? So it's on the other side now. Now I'm on Steven's side.
I saw Shushin take the ball from way out in the corner, like went around.
No, let's keep it to our level, okay? Let's not take it too much, okay? So what I'm saying is like this defending person is really good at placement. He's putting the ball, he's making me move so much, and then he's taking over the attack. Me as the attacker, I wanna win that point. So how will I win that? Good. So I'm gonna he's using placement against me, I'm using placement against him. I have the advantage on the placement because I'm close to the table, he's far away from the table. So let's say, Steven, can you do the fishing now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna start smashing the ball. Say I'm smashing. I'm going slowly. Okay? So now I'm using placement against him. One short ball, bring him in. he's already, if you see his momentum is going this way, right? So then I'm going to switch to the other side. I have the advantage of using more placement than the person that's lobbing the ball. One more time. Ooh. You see what I mean? So things like, I have that advantage. He's not going to be placing me. I am going to be placing him. Okay? So there is no way I'm actually losing that point. I'm saying probably I have 95% of the chance to win that point, and he has 5%. Obviously, if it's Shushin, maybe it will be a different story. But since we are in this level, no matter what, the attacker has the better placement than the defender. Now, somebody would spin. How do we counter that? Anybody? Anybody? Somebody that's spinning the ball really well and is moving, is doing that side spin that I'm doing, pushing you this way, you attack, and then he moves you to the other side. How do we go against that? Anybody? Mariana, Matthew? No? I'm sorry?
I think the worst thing is who control the ball. Yes. Control and uncontrol. Who can control the ball, you will get the win.
Exactly. So if he's far away from the table, just like he was saying, he's controlling the ball, I'm not going to let the person control my attack. I am going to control it. So what I'm going to do, my suggestion to you guys, it will be to take the spin out, catch it right after the bounce. Don't let it go away from you. Don't let it go up all over you. As soon as the ball touches, finish the point. So Steven, I don't know if you can actually do a little bit more of spin on your high balls, if you can, right? Right after the bounce. Don't let it bounce. That ball has a lot of a spin, and when it touches the table, it's either going to go over you, or if it's a side spin, it's going to go away from you. You don't want to get out of this part of the table. I just want to stay there, and as soon as he bounces, I finish the point. Right? Don't let it bounce. If it bounces, it's too late. You put too much spin. You need to do toss spin. But if it doesn't bounce, just right away, right after the. If you don't let it bounce, you can just right away attack it. Easy. Am I putting any toss spin? No. Am I pushing the ball? No. I'm just taking it right after the bounce. It's hard to do because you really have to have really good timing on this, but it's possible. Because if I am attacker, guys, and I'm attacking, and there is somebody defending like me, if I lose the point, I get really, really angry because I'm the attacker. I have the advantage. He doesn't have the advantage. Okay? The next one, power shot. How do we take away that? So he's looking for that. He's looking for that power shot. Anybody?
More spins?
You could.
Slow it down? Slow the ball down?
It reflects a little bit more, and if you guys can do it, to see the body language of the opponent. Okay? I can see when I'm playing against him, so you don't take away your eyes from the opponent. Okay? Let's put it this way. If Steven wants to take a surprise shot, an attack shot, most likely his right leg is going to come out a little bit towards the side so he can go forward and take it. Am I right? So you have to notice those things. When the defender player is right here, suddenly I can see his legs. I can definitely see his legs. So if he's going to take an attack shot, I'm looking for that right leg to get back a little bit, to move. Then, okay, he's going to attack. Let's move around. Let's do something different. So, Steven, I want you to try to look for that attack shot. Okay? So if you notice, I can see that he's getting the first two balls. He's trying to get ready to take that shot. So what am I going to do? I'm going to push him on the back end. Push him a little bit on the back end. Try to make it feel uncomfortable. Because I can see everything. From this side, I can see his legs. I can see his body language. I can see he's preparing to do something else. So I got to take that away from him. Don't do it so fast, Steve. Take your time. So Steven needs a little bit of practice to actually do this, but you guys get the point, okay? Let's try to take away, to look at the opponent, look at their body language, and see what they're trying to do so they don't take the attack, okay? And you win the point. Most of the cases, when you're on the attack, for me, it's placement. It's not about power. It's not about spin or anything like that when I'm attacking. I want to move my opponent around. And the more he moves, the more tired he gets, the bigger the table becomes, the more advantage you have. Okay? Anybody has any questions? No? Now I'm going to get the adults here. Who do we have? Who do we have? Eric? Eric? A special defender player right here? Actually, no, you're going to be attacking. I'm going to be defending. Sorry. You have a racket?
There's no elastics on it. Don't break it.
So I'm going to be defending to you. Defending, you're going to be attacking. And the first thing I want you to do is to try to win the point by placement. That's it. Okay? So I'm going to be here giving you the ball, and you try to win the point just by placement. Okay? See? That's good. So Eric already knows his placement. Easy to win the point like that. No problem. Very simple. Okay? Let's try it again, but now I'm going to make it more difficult.
You make what?
A little more difficult. So I'm putting spins and things like that. So you have to win by placement. Good. Very good, Eric. So Eric is really good at that placement shot. He does it pretty well. So we have no problem. Let me try one more time. Nice, I got one. So it's really good. So Eric he puts the ball on the table, he moves you around, easy balls to win, right? There is no point, there is no chance for me as a defender to win a point like that, unless I take the attack over, right? Thank you, Eric. Now I need a person who is going to try to win the point against my spin. So I'm going to do a lot of a spin on the ball, lobbing the ball really high, and I want that person to win the point right away. Any adult? Anybody? No? One person? Any kids? Matthew? Let's go. Haven't used you yet. So Matthew's going to try to take the attack right away on my spin. Okay? So right after the bounce. Don't let the ball bounce. Okay? Relax on the first one. Nice, Matthew. He waited. You can't let her wait. See, that's exactly my point. If the ball bounces already and it's coming this way, it's going away from you, and this is what happened. So you have to catch it right after it bounces. Nice. Good. Again. Same situation, right after the bounce. Nice, perfect. So the timing is key on this, okay guys? It's very key. you got to catch it right after the ball bounces. Because if you let it bounce, it's a little too late and you're out of position. Especially when you try to catch that ball right after and it bounces, it's going to go away from you. And then how are you going to recover for that one? Now you're on the defense. Okay? Thank you, Matthew. Okay, do we have any questions about this? Any concerns? Anything? We're good? We understand everything? As I say, it's not an easy topic to do, guys. First, obviously, we're going to work on our consistency, our footwork. After that, when you have your consistency, your footwork, and you're putting 50 balls on the table like I like to do, then we can talk about your defensive to offense. Well, we'll talk about your defense first, and then from defense to offense, right? So it's a long stretch. It's a long work that you have to do, but you have to put the time on it, okay? So, so far, this is all for the topic. Anything else that you guys want me to add? Anything more? Something that I probably forgot that I didn't touch? Anything? Yes?
Maybe how to lob the ball?
How to lob the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we're lobbing the ball, I like my side spin. So I like to curve the way a little bit and make it go away from the table, right? So in order to do that, your racket has to be at this angle. You're going behind your back and then curve it. So the ball curves that way, okay? There. Some people just like it with spin. So what you're basically doing is like doing a regular toss spin, but slow. You're going down and up, down and up. And as I said, guys, when you're doing that toss spin, placement is really important. If you're gonna lob, don't lob on this area. You're putting the ball mostly here. Okay? You okay, Wayne? It's just like, as I said, it's just like a regular toss spin, underspin toss spin. You're bringing your racket down and up. Okay? From the back end, there is no side spin on the back end. Unless you're a pen holder, then you can do it. But it's really difficult to do it with the back end. So I just do the back end lob. Again, same situation, under your groin and up. Okay? Make sure you're brushing the ball from this part of the racket to all the way down. The more spin you get, the more bounce you're gonna get, the more it's going over your opponent. Okay? You had a question there?
I wanted to see the footwork.
The footwork, okay, good question. So obviously, guys, we don't want to be in this position, right? We want to be bending our knees now, okay? When you're moving side to side, okay? A very good exercise that Matthew doesn't like when we do the training is this one and this one, okay? Matthew, would you like to demonstrate that exercise?
Always. You had a time.
You love this exercise. Maybe you do it from here because I want them to actually see your legs. So this exercise is, to me, for movement and footwork, is very important, and I make all my students do it all the time, okay? So you start with your playing hand under left and right, and he's going to do it without crossing his legs. Go ahead. Just stop. So he does it pretty well, but the only thing that I want is that his body is straight. You don't want to be like this because this is hurting your back. You don't want to hurt it. You want to be straight and in rhythm. Never cross your legs. Your legs shouldn't be touching. Let's do it one more time. Good. Perfect. Okay? So that's a really good exercise, and the way to improve on this exercise is by timing yourself. For example, I give Matthew 1.5 minutes to do around, we started at 38. The next day, you're gonna do 1.5 minutes, 39. The next day, 40. Increasing. Because this exercise is perfect for your footwork. The more you can move this way, the better a defender you're gonna be, okay? Also, guys, please look for that forehand toss spin. The surprise attack, as I said. So if you're here, you're defending, right leg comes here, go in the ball. no matter what. Because we don't want to spend more than 3-4 shots defending. We want to take the attack. And I like my forehand guys. If you guys are really good with the backhand, it's okay. Do it with backhand. But I want to take this right leg, go in, and finish the shot. Okay? Any other questions? No? We're good? Yes, Steve?
So you're in a rally. When would you decide to do a lob rather than like just pushing it back, lobbing?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You start lobbing when you're under pressure.
Yes.
But you have other options too. You can try to just block it back, or try to counter hit it, or top it.
So
Why would you lob?
you're telling me that you're gonna try to counter here from here.
No, why did you decide to lob?
Oh,
Send it like sky high. You can try to send it.
when did you decide to lob? Okay, good. So for example, Steven, he has a really good toss spin that I like. It's kind of like a side spin, and the ball curves that way.
I don't
So,
like it.
huh?
I don't like getting it.
Well, no, you have to have your shot, right? So for you, Wayne, what's the shot that you can put 100 balls on the table all the time?
I don't have any like that.
He's working on it. He's here.
Okay, so let's use Steven as an example. He has this toss spin right here. Yeah, you should do it. I like it. There we go. Steven wants to demonstrate it.
He's very shy.
Okay? So he grabs, see, and he curves. And he can do that probably, if I give him 100 balls, he can do it 100 times, because he's really comfortable with it and he likes it. Okay? So I'm going to take that shot into my advantage. So when am I in a defensive situation and I'm just trying to decide what shot am I going to do, that's the shot you're going to use 80% of the time whenever you feel uncomfortable. Okay? So let's say, for example, I'm defending. And I went to the backhand, but my opponent went to the forehand. That's when Steven is going to use the shot to get back in the game. Right? Why? Because he can do 100 of them at a time. And it's his shot. And he practices. But the problem with the Steven is he uses it all the time. And it ruins, it kind of like affects his technique a little bit. Okay? So what I'm trying to change with Steven is actually to keep his technique the same, regular balls, and use that ball either as a surprise ball or a situation when he's not comfortable to be there to take over the attack. So always use the shot you're more comfortable to use when you are in a very tough situation. Okay? For example, Eric, what's your more comfortable shot? Backhand? But you right after the bounce, right? But in a situation, let's say you're in a situation that you're a defender. I can put you back away here from the table, and you can do 100 shots on a time. Forehand toss. So then Eric, in that situation, he's far away from the table. He's going to do a forehand toss spin if he's in a difficult situation. Right? Mariana, what's one shot that you can do 100 times? You can put 100 balls on the table. I see you do this backhand hit a lot, really well. I like her backhand is really good. She hits it really well. So whenever she's in a difficult situation, maybe a surprise backhand from far away from the table is not a bad idea to do, right? Any other questions, Stephen? You're good?
One question, Steven, that shot you're using there, is that a side spin using, or
What
shot is that?
It's side spin.
Sometimes side spins, sometimes corkscrew spin.
Oh, God.
Who confused us? 6 to 1.
What corkscrew? It's like a mix between side. It's like the ball's going like this. So there's side spin where it goes like this.
That's illegal, isn't it?
You know when you're playing.
So with the side spin, when it hits the opponent's racket, it'll take off. But when the spin is corkscrew, it's going to take off when it hits the table.
Okay, so that's one shot that he needs to use once when he's on trouble, not all the time. That's what I'm trying to change for him. And one problem that Steven has is that he doesn't realize when is the good time I'm going to go forward. He's always, if you see him play, like every point he's like,
Tell me about it.
Antes and all the way over there sometimes. You know?
Don't give me in the room in the back.
Okay. If you see him on tournaments, it's even worse. He's right here. But anyway, this is something that I'm practicing with him. That's why I want him to use it. He needs to get better at it. We're working on it. And please, guys, all the kids that are actually playing right now, try to practice that stuff too as well. Defensive skills are almost as important as offensive skills. Mariana, you're always close to the table. You're really good in this. But as I said, when I can put you back away from the table, you might be a little bit of trouble. Okay? Matthew, same thing. Eric, you're okay. Daniel, you're okay too. Okay? Any other questions? We're good? You guys wanna?
Let's go to the tables.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the tables. Let's try it. Practice your defensive skills, and I'll come and check you.